So today we will be starting with your third module, that is specifications and analysis of rates. Okay, so the first part of your third module is regarding specifications. So what do you mean by specification? Any general answer? What do you mean by specification? Can you briefly, in your own words, can you define what do you mean by the term specification? Specification, not regarding your civil engineering works. Just a brief explanation what you mean by the word specification.
So to
Yes,
know or identifying something with details.
yes. So correct. You have mentioned. So the word details, right? Specification meaning details. You are mentioning details of a particular thing or anything regarding anything. You are mentioning some description, right? You are giving some details of how something is made, or what are its details and all. You are mentioning in the specification. So when you go to buy a mobile, what you ask for the salesman over there, you ask what are the specifications of the mobile, right? You ask what is the RAM. You need 6 GB RAM. You need 128 GB internal storage. All those things. Then you need 888 Snapdragon chipset in it. All those things, and you ask for specifications. You have certain specifications in mind, right? You need certain specifications, and that you go and ask, and you tell him to show that particular model which fits your specifications, right? So that is nothing but what do you mean by specification? So regarding civil engineering works, so what includes specification in civil engineering works? Right. So whenever you want to do any kind of civil engineering work, we need to know how it has to be carried out. Right. How it has to be carried out. What are the details? What are the materials? Right. What are the proportions? So all those things should be mentioned clearly, and that document is nothing but that all those things are given in a document called specifications. Okay, so giving details or giving a clear description of how something is made is termed as a specification. Okay, so I hope you have understood what we mean by specification, right? Specification. So why do we need specifications now? What is we have now we have learned what we mean by specification. Now the second basic thing is why do we need specifications? Why do we need specifications? So first answer I've given that we should know what are the proportions, how the work is to be conducted, and what are the other details that are required to perform the specific work. Right. So to do that, we need some details to be provided at the site. So that is given in specifications. So that is the necessity of specification. Okay, so what consists of a specification now? What consists of a specification? What all do you mention in a specification? What all do you mention? So anything you can think of that should be mentioned in a specification, come on, you can list 1, 2, 3. We will make a list of what should be included in a specification. What else you think should be included in a specification of any kind of work? Very basic thing. Can you think of an answer?
Cost, sir. Cost of the project.
Okay, so you mean a rate. Okay, you mean rate. Okay, rate is there next. Correct answer. Rate should be included, rates of your various thing, various kind of materials. Next, any other thing that should be included in specification?
Labors.
Okay, the labors, the type of labors that you should require, that you should acquire for a particular kind of work, right? Correct answer. Labor, various kind of labors. Next, along with
Materials.
labors, yes,
Materials.
materials, very important. First thing that you should mention is materials. What are the type of materials that you should use? Materials is the very important one. Next, labor and something along with labors you should include. One more thing is included along with labors, right? Labors need what?
Machinery.
Right, machinery, or you can call as equipments, right? Equipment should be mentioned. What kind of equipments we should use to do that particular kind of work? Any other thing you can think of? Not any, or still two or three are remaining.
Contract documents.
Contract document includes your specifications. Okay, contract document is a document which includes your specification. So specification does not have contract details. Your contract document has specifications mentioned. Okay, so that is a different part. Any other answer you can think of? Very important regarding regarding concrete work. Say RCC slab work. What should you give in specifications?
Design.
Design, right? Oh, that is also very important. Design. And what else regarding design?
Thickness of slab.
Thickness of slab. Okay, that is given in drawing and all. Okay, that are drawings. Okay, you can think design plus drawings are also given in specification. Design and drawings. What else? One more important, very important, starts with the word R.
Reinforcement details.
Reinforcement details are also given in drawings. Right, you have that bar bending schedule and all those drawings with you. So it comes under that category. One more thing, very important. How you mention your concrete, how you write your concrete. You write
Ratio, sir. Reinforced concrete.
Reinforced concrete, or one more answer that someone has given is ratio, right? Very important, ratio, or what we call as proportions, right? Proportion 1:4:6, or what ratio we should use, what ratio it should mix, right? Whenever we are dealing with concrete. So these are a few things that are very important and that should be included in a specification. Okay, so it should include what your materials that are required, the type of materials, their properties, right? What are the properties, whether it is physical, chemical, and all those properties should be mentioned clearly. Then the ratio or the proportioning should be mentioned. Then machines or equipment should be mentioned, machines or equipments. Then labor, as your friend has suggested, labor, the type of labor that is required for that particular kind of work, right? Labor should be mentioned. And then various other things are there. We'll look into detail later on. Okay, so these are some general things which should be included in your specification. Okay, so now we have seen what to mean by specification. Okay, why is specification needed also we have learned, and what should be included in a specification. Okay, so all these things should be included, and these details should be mentioned separately for every work. Okay, and not only just a measurement sheet that you have done, right? Now whatever you have learned till the second module, right? You have learned how to quantify the materials that are required, right? Meter cube, square meter of earthwork, and meter square of paint that is required, all those things. So the sheet that you prepare, particulars, length, breadth, depth, and quantity, right? That is called as the measurement sheet. That is called as the measurement sheet. The measurement sheet should be there, and then that will come in detailed specification. Okay, then what else is required in a specification? So we have two kinds of specification. We have general specification, and then we have detailed specification, general and detailed. Okay, general and detailed. So suppose now you want to build a house. There is an owner, and he contacts you. Okay, there is a owner of a house. Okay, he wants to build a new house. So there is an idea in his mind. There is an idea of how to build a particular building. Right, he has some idea. He has a site he wants to build. So there is an idea, and he has some specification in his mind. He has some specifications in his mind that he wants this kind of wood tile flooring required. He wants this size of rooms, right? And then various other materials like what to use as your bricks, right? He wants aesthetic looks at the front. So he has some specifications in his mind. So he will tell that specifications to you, engineer. He will tell that to you. So what you will do later on, you will prepare a plan. You will prepare plan. You will prepare design. You will design the works, and then you will prepare abstract or an estimate. You will prepare estimate, and then you will prepare specifications, that how these works are to be constructed, or how they have to be how they have to be constructed in the site, right? You give specifications. So specification comes before your execution starts, before execution of a project starts. The specification is done before your project starts, right? So there is an idea, or there is an owner, right, who has an idea and who wants to construct a particular thing. Suppose it is a PWD work, it is some road work, right? It is some road work. So he cannot construct, right? He cannot construct. So he'll give the work to some contractor, and there is a contractor who will construct it for him, right? And then you will pay his bills. He will give you bill, and then you have to pay the bills to contractor after the work is done, or in between as the work is getting completed. Okay, so engineer is what? Engineer is a moderator in between the contractor and the owner, right? So he is the moderator who checks the works, whether they are going on as per the design, as per the given specifications, right? You have to check. Okay, so that is there. Then there is this document which is prepared, right? Contract document, and that contract document has all your details of the work. It also has specifications mentioned in it. Also, it has specification mentioned in it. Particularly to say, it has detailed specification mentioned in it. Detailed. I have mentioned two types of specifications, right? General and detailed. So general specification is not included in that contract. Detailed specification document is included in that particular contract document. Okay, so remember this. Okay, so one more thing. Why do we need specifications? Why do we need specifications? One more important thing. Okay, so now a particular design you have given, and there is construction which is started. So now how do you check whether the construction that they have done or the work that is being executed is proper, right, as per your design? So what your site engineer will do, or your inspection engineer will do, he will have specifications in his hand. He will go to the site and he will check, right, whether the executed work is as per the given design or as per the mentioned specifications, right? So because of that, specification is important to check or to evaluate whether the work is going as per the design or the given specifications, right? So because of that, we need the specifications. But any other thing you can think of that is regarding specification, why we require specifications? Any other thing? Any other thing is coming in your mind regarding specification? So major things we have covered regarding specification. As I've told you, we include materials, then we include ratios, labor, equipment, and then ratios, and how the execution has to be done in the site, right? All those things are included in the specification. So this is a brief overview regarding specifications. So now we shall move on in detail. Okay, we shall move on in detail and look into what do we mean by specifications. Okay, is the screen visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So starting with our third module, specification for civil engineering works. Okay, an engineer specification an engineering specification contains what? It contains details. As I've told you, it contains detailed description. It gives you of how the work is to be conducted, right? Workmanship we call, which we call as how the work should be executed, or workmanship, and materials which are required, right? Materials, and then it gives which is required to complete the engineering project in accordance with the drawing and details, right? We have drawings in our hand. But there is no space in your drawings to mention all the specifications, right? How that has to be executed in the field. So because there is no space in the drawing, we make a special document which is known as the specifications, right? In which all the details are furnished properly, right? All the descriptions are given of whatever we have listed, right? All those things are mentioned clearly for each of the work separately. Suppose for earthwork separately, all those things which we had listed, no, they will be mentioned. And then next, after earthwork, we come across what? Earthwork in filling. After earthwork in excavation, then we come across earthwork in earthwork in filling, right? Earthwork in filling, and then you have your column, right? Column and your footing, and then after that you have your column, then your beams, all those things. So as your work is executed in your field, right, starting from excavation going up to slab, so as it is executed in field, in the same order, your specification has to be there. Okay, so important thing that you have to remember is how your work is to be conducted in your site. In the same order, you have to write down your specification of your works. Okay, so that is regarding some definitions regarding specification. Now we have discussed some necessities. Let us look into detail why we exactly need. So as you've told, we for understanding the cost or the unit cost of our work, right? We calculate the quantities, right, which you write in your Q or your quantity column, right? Quantity column, and then you multiply that by the rate. Multiply by the rate. That rate is what? It is a unit quantity. Cost of a unit quantity, meaning it is suppose your earthwork is in meter cube. Meter cube. So excavation quantity, suppose it is 100 rupees per meter cube. Per meter cube, meaning it is unit rate. It is unit rate. So to those unit rates are governed by this specifications, right? So the cost of a unit quantity of work is governed by the specification. Next, the specification serves as a guide for supervising staff of the contractor as well as the owner, right? For the contractor as well as the owner to check whether the work is as per their satisfaction, right? As I've told you, to check whether the work is going as per the design, we need the specification in hand, right? So that helps in checking whether the work is as per your design. So that is the second point. Third, work is carried out according to its specification and the contractor is paid for the same, right? If the work is carried out according to the specification, right? The specification is given to the site engineer. He has to take care and check whether the work is going on as per the design or as per the specification given to him. Okay, or else the contractor will not be paid properly. There will be problems in the payment. Okay, so to make sure that the work is going on according to the design, you need specification in hand. So that is one necessity of specification. Specification is necessary to specify equipment. As I have told you, we need to specify equipment, special tools, and other things which are required to execute the particular work. Okay. Fifth point, the specification specifies the workmanship and method of doing the work, right? As I've told you, we need specifications to be given so that it is properly executed in the field. So regarding workmanship, all those details are furnished in your specification document. Next, specification is an essential contract document and is required for arbitration or court cases, right? Also, if you run into any legal problems, then this is an essential document, very important document, which will help you in your court cases, right? In your legal matters. So specification is very important there also. So these are a few necessities which you need to remember, along with which we have discussed. Okay, so specification is very important in any civil engineering work. Okay, moving on to type of specification. Type of specification, I have mentioned brief specification, or what we call as general specification, and then a detailed specification. Okay, general and then detail. So general or brief specification is given, is prepared by the quantity surveyor, right? Quantity surveyor, which has your brief explanation or brief description of the materials, and their rates. Okay, overall rates, what is the cost of that, and then some specific, some important things are mentioned like proportions and their qualities. Okay, it is not in-depth detail work. Okay, it is just mentioned generally, or it is mentioned briefly. Okay, and one important thing is this document is not included in your main contract document, right? So general, it gives only a brief description of items, okay, as I've told you, and it is only used for the estimation of cost, all right? Estimation of cost or estimation of quantities, right? What we do as a in your measurement sheet, right? So that is done in a general specification. Okay, it is not a part of your contract document. It is not to be included in the contract document, right? Next, coming to detailed specification. Detailed specification, it is included in your contract document. It is a very important document, and it gives all the details of the work to be executed. Okay, it specifies what? It specifies quality, quantity, and then it also specifies your proportions, right? Proportions, and then execution methods, all those things in detail. All the parts, all the sectors are covered in detail in your detailed specification. Okay, moving on, we have general provisions, technical provisions, right? All those things are included in your detailed specification. General provisions which are there, technical provisions, right? So what do you mean by general provisions? General provisions. These are known as the conditions of contract, and they apply to the work as the whole. Okay, so general provisions, some provisions or some details or some descriptions are prepared and they apply to all the works. Okay, to the whole project they are applicable. They're not to specific kind of work. It is applied to the whole project. So in this document, the condition governing in the contract are written. The condition governing the contract are written. What are the various conditions which are governing your contract? All those things are given in your general provisions. The technical provisions are what we deal with, right? Particularly engineers. So specifications we are included in your technical provisions. So all the details regarding the type of construction, all those things, then detailed instructions regarding the desired quality, right? Quality of the final product, and also the performance. Okay, regarding the performance after you construct or after your material is prepared, right? Concrete. So how you test it, all those details are given, and what are the performance requirements, right? Some performance requirements are required that your concrete is M20, it should perform as per your design, right? So tests are described, then performance details are described. All those things are given in your technical provisions. Okay, so these are what we deal with as we are engineers. Next, so these technical provisions are of two types. So under detailed provisions, detailed specification, we have general provision and then we have technical provision. And under technical provisions, we have two parts. Specification for material and workmanship, and specification for performance. A specification for material and workmanship. So do you understand, what do you understand by specification for material and workmanship? Specification for material, let us start with specification for material. So what do you think should be included in specification for material? Specification for material, what do you understand by that? What should be included? Can you try to list what should be included in that part, in this materials, specification for materials? Specification for materials. What do you think should be included?
Quality.
Quality is very important, right? Quality is very important. Quality of your materials, quality. First thing that you can think of is quality. Then any other thing?
Grade.
Right, grade you may have mentioned, or we will write generally as proportions. Okay, any other thing? Quality. Then along with quality, there is one more rhyming word. Quality and starting with Q, same.
Quantity.
Quantity, right? Quality, what is the quantity of material required, and then proportioning, and then along with proportion, one more rhyming word starting with P itself.
Property.
Right, properties, various properties. So any properties you can think of, properties. Which properties you should study of a particular material, which properties you need to study. Properties. Say you are dealing with concrete, say you're dealing with concrete. So what are the properties that you will be studying for concrete?
Strength.
Strength, right? Strength. And
Quality.
durability. Okay, all those which you are mentioning, they come under physical properties, chemical properties, and if required, other things like electrical, thermal, all those things are included. So if we are talking about cement, we are only dealing with physical and rarely with chemical. Right, physical properties like I've mentioned, strength, then the fineness of your cement, what is the setting time, all those things that are tests which you conduct, right? That properties, all those should be mentioned in the specification of materials. Right, so I hope you have understood specification of materials. Next, why do we require this specification of material and workmanship? Why do we require the specification, particularly this workmanship and materials? Okay, suppose now you have a material and you have decided the workmanship, how it has to be constructed in your site. Okay, so we have some material and we have decided the execution work, how it has to be executed. So suppose now you have you have used proper material, and the workmanship is also very good. Now, if imagine if your building fails, if your building collapses, now who is in charge, or who is to be blamed? Who is to be blamed? Yeah, even though you have taken materials and workmanship properly, the building has failed. It has collapsed. Now, whose fault is it? Is it fault of the site engineer, or is it fault of the designer or the structural engineer?
Structural engineer.
Structural engineer. You say structural engineer. Others, what do you think? Is it the fault of the site engineer, or of the designer, or the structural engineer? No idea.
Site engineer.
Site engineer. So why do you think site engineer is responsible? So even though he has used proper materials and workmanship, even though he has used and he has done as per the specification, even though it has failed, so it is not the fault of the site engineer, it is fault of the structural engineer. So that is because of that, this particular thing is very important. Specification is very important, so that the blame does not come on you or the site engineer, because you have done the execution and you have used proper materials, right? So if you maintain proper control on the materials, and you test them properly, and you check that whether your materials are proper, and then you practice good workmanship, or you have good workmanship, right? And then if even though you have done your work and the building fails, then it is not your fault, it is the fault of the designer, right? So because of that, this material and workmanship is very important. Now, certain other things are also to be included in specification of materials, right? Certain materials require to be described, their physical properties, their chemical properties should be described. Also, some properties which include insulation, right, which are used as insulators, right, for acoustic properties. For our acoustic materials are there, so that for the isolation of a sound, right, sound. So acoustic properties should be mentioned for such materials. And then electrical properties, then certain appearances also, textures are also to be mentioned, right, which are dealing with surfaces. Then also along with this, we should give the details of the transportation, of how your materials are to be transported. Okay, after you transport, what you have to do, you have to store your materials, right? So storing is also to be given, how particularly you have to store your material, right? And that is very important regarding cement, right? How do you transport it, and how do you store it, right? How do you store it? So storing of cement is very important, because if cement catches moisture, it will harden up, right? So storing is also important. So you have to mention details of how you store your cement, right? So how do you store your cement? Usually in a space wherein there is no moisture, right, and there is no ingress of water from any part, right? So those details are to be given, and then along with that, some specifications for testing, right? Testing of your materials, specifications regarding testing of your materials have to be given, right? And along with that, maybe you can give specifications regarding whether it is to be tested in a factory or a lab, or whether your testing should be done on site, right? Whether your testing should be done on site, and whether your testing should be done in lab, right? Regarding testing specification. So can you name a few tests which are to be done on site? Any site testing which you can remember, and any lab tests. So let us think about regarding cement itself. Cement and concrete, cement or concrete, site and lab tests. Any you can list, or you can name a few. Can you name a few?
Color.
Color. Color. Are you saying color?
Sir.
Color. So color, you are saying that color test should be done on which it should be done in lab, or it should be done in site. Specifically, you are mentioning about cement, I think.
So site only.
Site. So you will observe what is the color of the cement before you use it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I think there is no particular specification regarding color. So, but that you can make out by experience, right? You can make out by experience. Any other test you can think of that can be executed on site, any test which can be done on site regarding concrete.
Sir, slump cone test can done in site.
Slump cone, remember slump cone test is to be done on site, very important, right? Before you place any concrete, any batch of concrete, right, you have to do the slump cone test. And what you have to test, you have to test the workability, whether how the concrete, what is the workability of the concrete, whether it is as per the design. That workability is very important as a test that we do on site. Any lab test which you can think of, any lab test regarding cement, many you have, right? Many tests you have, which you have already done.
Fineness test.
Fineness test is that thing that you do in your lab. Fineness test of cement.
Specific gravity.
Specific gravity you do. Recall. Many you have done. Consistency test. Yes, very good. Any other? Regarding setting times, you recall setting times?
Initial and final setting.
Initial and final. Do you remember what are the values?
Yeah, sir.
Initial and final, can you recall?
Sir, below 30 minutes.
How much is initial?
30 minutes.
30 minutes, sir.
30 minutes. Okay, initial is 30 minutes. What about final?
10 hours.
10 hours. Meaning 10 hours
Hmm.
meaning how many? How many minutes? How many minutes? Multiply quickly, multiply.
600 minutes.
600 minutes.
Sir, 600 minutes.
600 minutes or 10 hours. Now, very important question regarding initial. So your initial setting time should be 30 minutes, minimum 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes, or more than 30 minutes. It should be less than 30 minutes, or it should be equal to 30 minutes, or it should be more than 30 minutes. Tricky question. If you have your basics strong, you will answer properly. You will answer very quickly. Whether initial setting time should be equal to 30 minutes, or should it be less than 30 minutes, or whether it should be more than 30 minutes. Less than 30 minutes. Others?
Yeah, sir. Less than 30 minutes.
So what do you mean by less than? You think you are saying that it should set within 30 minutes. It should set within 30 minutes. Is that right?
More, sir.
Yeah, sir.
More than 30 minutes.
It should set the more than 30 minutes. It should be at least 30 minutes. Okay, you should say that it should be at least 30 minutes, so that you have time to place your concrete. You have time to compact, right? And you have time to finish properly, right? So it should be at least 30 minutes. Don't say less than 30 minutes. It should be at least 30 minutes. So it should not go higher than say 30, 45 minutes, right? It will not set. If your setting time is more, initial setting time is more, it will take more time to harden. It will take more time to harden up, and then a removal of formwork will be more. Your time for a removal of formwork will be more. So all those things will be delayed. So it should be at least 30 minutes and not much than 1 hour. You can say, okay, not much than, not more than 1 hour. Okay. So regarding final setting time, it should set within 600 minutes. It should set within 600 minutes. It should not cross 600 minutes. Okay, so these we have gone off topic. So we will come back to specifications. Okay. So under specification, we have covered material and workmanship. Now specification for performance. What do you understand by this specification for performance? What do you understand by that now? Specification for performance.
So working process.
Working process. You are saying working process. Any other answer? Working process, performance, specification regarding performance, specification regarding performance of a material. Now can you think of any answer? Okay, performance meaning whatever the test we conduct, right? Whatever test we conduct, how they are performing in that particular test. at how they are performing, whether they are performing satisfactorily, whether it is poorly performing, whether it is performing very good. So that is regarding performance. Okay, performance in tests of your various materials that you are going to use for a construction. Performance in testing. Okay, and one more aspect that comes in performance under testing is performance of your machinery or the equipment which you are using, performance of your machines, performance of your machines. So in this particular machine specification, what are things are to be included? What all things are to be included? It should have the general description of your machine, general description, how the machine works, right? How your particular machine works, and what are the installation procedures, right? You need to install your machine in your site or in your lab, right? Then that description should be given, or the specification should be given. And then this guarantee should be mentioned, right? Guarantee. What is the guarantee on the machine, right? Whenever you buy or purchase any electronic or any machine, you ask for the guarantee, right? What is the guarantee? What is the warranty for that machine? So that is mentioned clearly in the specification. And then certain things like spare parts, right? Spare parts regarding your machine. If your machine breakdowns, how do you repair it? How do you service it? And then where the spare parts are available, and what spare parts to be used and what not to be used. Right? All those things are mentioned in specification for performance under machinery. So these are a few important things that you should remember under specification for materials, specification for workmanship, and specification for performance. Okay, so have you understood this part? Have you understood this part? No problem. Should we go forward?
Sir.
Is it fine? Going fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So next thing that you can see on the screen is standard specification. Okay, standard specification. So it is a different kind of category. Right, it is not included in this detailed specification. Right, it is a different kind of category. You can see it is mentioned as standard specification. Right, certain kind of works. Right, certain kind of work like your execution, like your excavation. Sorry, excavation work. Right, it is to be done in all kind of civil engineering works. Like the first thing that you have to do is in any kind of civil engineering work is excavation of soil. Right, excavation, or you might say filling work or cutting work. Right, some work like a brickwork, right? Brickwork in superstructure, they are common in all our civil engineering works, right? Brickwork, then concrete works, right? Earthwork, all those things, right? You can see, for example, over here you can read specification for earthwork, concrete work, brickwork, etc. are commonly required for different works, right? They are standard across everywhere. Any work you do, right? Residential work, they are standard. They are standard. Standard meaning they are used everywhere. They are common, right? So instead of writing the specification, right? Instead of writing the specification every time, what we do is we mention some clause. We mention some clause that these specifications are to be referred from your CPWD or PWD or irrigation, railway, whichever construction you are undertaking, that particular department's department standard specification. Okay, departmental standard specification. You say brickwork, and the specifications for specifications refer PWD clause number so and so of the particular state or the particular district. Okay, so you can directly mention the clause number. Okay, instead of writing, so much of your space is saved, much of your time is saved, right? Paper, time, and all those things are saved. So some standard specification, what we can do, we can directly mention the clauses, right, which are frequently used in all the projects. So for example, as I've told you, earthwork is frequently used in all the concrete works, then concrete works, brickwork, etc. Right? These directly can be referred to from your standard specification documents. So this is regarding standard specification. Then before we get into detailed specification of building works, right? Before we get into this, one more thing we are left out with. One more thing, okay? Some general thing we are left out with is classification. One more classification of specification we have, right? Apart from this, detailed, okay, detailed, and these are types of specification, okay, brief and detailed. Now, how do we classify? Classification of specification. So under classification, we have different kind of classifications based on tendering, right? So we have first classification as open classification, second classification as restricted, and then third is your closed classification, closed specification, okay, classification of specifications. So what do you mean by open, restricted, and then closed? Open, restricted, and closed. So under open specification, it gives general specifications of your materials. So we are dealing with materials in your in this classification. We are dealing mainly with materials. Okay, suppose now you are a contractor, and you have taken certain kind of work, okay, you have undertaken certain kind of work. Okay, so it is a open, it is mentioned that you have open specifications. You can use any open specification. Okay, so what do you mean by open specification is they will give you the properties. Okay, they'll tell you so and so cement property is to be there, right? You have to use M20 concrete, you have to use Fe415 steel, okay, Fe415 steel, and you have to take grade 43 and M20 concrete to build that particular kind of work. Okay, so they give you the physical properties, they give you chemical properties, and they give you open choice. Right? That is why the name open. They give you open choice to select our materials. You can go to any vendor, you can go to any manufacturer, and you can buy their product, and then you can use. Okay, so you have an open choice, and there is no recommendation from the owner or from the contract document that you have to use a particular Ambuja cement or particular Ultratech cement. Right? That is not recommended or suggested. It is on your discrimination. Okay, it is on your choice whether you are going to use which kind of cement. Okay, you should make sure that the property which is mentioned in the document is maintained. Okay, properties and chemical properties, all those things. Okay, it is generally used for PWD works. So this is under open specifications. Okay, you are at your own discretion which material to choose from. Okay, and in restricted specification, the material is described, and you have a list. Okay, you have a list of choices. You have a list, and you have to choose from that particular list. Okay, you have a catalog, and you have to choose from that catalog itself. You do not have any open type of choice, right? You have a list, and you have to choose from that list itself. No open choice. Okay, so they give you manufacturers. In that list, you have various manufacturers or various vendors, and you have to choose from that list itself. Okay, so you have a restriction on how much on your choice. You have a restriction on your choice, right? So that is coming under restricted classification. And coming to closed classification, in this, only one particular brand is given. Okay, only one particular brand is given, and you have to use that particular brand. Okay, no choice is given to you. No, absolutely no choice. Okay, so you have to use Ultratech cement, or you have to use this steel, Tata Steel. You have to use that only. No choice you have, right? You are a contractor. You have been given no choice, right? So that is given in closed specification. Okay, so it is the first thing, you have open choice to select material. That is coming under open choice, open specification. In restricted, you have a list, or you have a catalog to choose from. Okay, you have a list, and you have to choose from that list. In closed classification, there is only one that you have to use. Okay, there is a strictly compulsion on that. Okay, so this is regarding classification of specification. Okay, so I think we will end up today with this classification, and from in the next class. Okay, in the next class, we will start with the detailed specification for building. Okay, detailed specification which starts from earthwork and excavation. Okay, so is this part clear? Have you understood, guys? Was it fine today's class? No problem. Have everyone understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Others
Yes, sir.
understood? Have you
Yes, sir.
understood?
Yes, sir.
Reply at least now. At the end, at least you have to reply. Uttam, Pradeep,
Yes, sir.
are you there? Yes. Krishna,
Yes, sir.
Kaustubh. Okay, I hope you have understood. Please, let me know if I'm going fast anywhere. Okay, I'll slow down. I know I tend to go fast as the time goes on. So if I'm going fast, if you feel that you're not understanding any part, please slow me down. Okay. Okay. So first, today's class was just theory explanation regarding specification. Okay, and from the next class, we will learn specifications for various kind of works. Okay, starting from token excavation. Okay, so you can type in our attendance. Okay, you can type in our attendance, type in your USN itself. Okay, type in our USN. And after you type in our attendance, you are free to exit the meeting. You are free to exit the meeting. Okay, I hope everyone has typed in their attendance.